Hello everybody and welcome to Flying with Angels on this beautiful day, 31st of August, which is the anniversary of when Princess Diana died 20 years ago, and it's something we won't forget, and it is like an important thing, but I think the newspapers have really gone over the top. The news has really gone over the top on it, haven't they, for the last couple of weeks? And anyway, also there's quite a lot of people that have crossed over this last week, and also there's floods and mudslides and disasters of a natural cause all over the world, not just Houston. So I'd like to just say, please keep those people in your thoughts as well. I've been doing prayers and sending healing to the whole world because there's so many places, and but places like Houston, that is bad, and it's bad in other places, because you don't get the news from the other places. It highlights how bad it is, how people come together, and how much help is there, from people.
Donna, her apartment was totally flooded out, Linz. They had to move.
Yeah.
I think with their brother, they are safe, but there's no way they can get back at the moment because all the roads to their place, the parking lot, everything was way high, and they were immediately evacuated. So
well, it's like we had over here, wasn't it, in the Cotswolds area?
That's right. That's right.
And it was right up to the some buildings. It was right up, so they couldn't get out. And
about our newspapers, we are all aware of Princess Diana and folks that move on to the higher side of life. But our newspapers, unfortunately, like to sensationalise things on many.
Everybody knows that.
There's other levels where there's so much good going on in our world. We just need to open our eyes and our hearts to see it, because the newspapers wouldn't do it. We have to see what good is going on. And I think from a beautiful place in your heart centre, if you cannot physically or financially assist, you just send that deep passion of deep love all over the planet and to everyone, everything that walks on the earth, and also to Mother Earth, because she's such a gift to us, and that's how I deal with it.
She is such a good mother, isn't she? She looks after us so well.
Yes.
The clouds are out. The sun is, she doesn't control the sun. Maybe they work together. I was going to say the sun's out, but the world is looking beautiful.
Actually. They do, because the energies of the sun and the planets affect our energies here. And
big time.
You should know that. I've got Darlene's up here instead of ours. So, no, I just want the prayer. I'll have to just say it. Rihanna, would you like to say the prayer? But Archangel Michael's here.
We like to use...
not moving.
All right, ready? Right. We like to use this as a blessing. And I love it myself, because it speaks to a lot of people on many levels. But it is, in fact, from the Nazarene version of the Lord's Prayer, which has been translated from Aramaic. O thou from whom the breath of life comes, who fills all realms with sound, light, and vibration, may your light be experienced in our utmost holiest. Let your will, your heavenly domain approaches, let your will come true in the universe. Give us wisdom for our daily need, and detach the fetters and thoughts that bind us. Let us not be lost in superficial things, but let us be freed from that which keeps us from our true purpose. From you comes the all-working will, the lively strength to act, the song that beautifies all and renews itself from age to age, sealed in trust, faith, gratitude, truth, and love. As it is spoken, so it is. Amen. You are a beautiful, magnificent, multi-dimensional being whose sole purpose is to expand into love and be love. As is, here you are. Namaste.
Namaste.
Beautiful. You read that so well, Rihanna, by the way. That was great.
Well, I feel it, so yeah. I
felt it.
When you read that, you feel it. It doesn't take away from the Lord's Prayer, but it's definitely got quite a vibration energy, and it does for everybody, I think. So, Nick, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing now? And you're travelling again, aren't you?
I am, yes. So I've been living in America for like 4 or 5 years now. I'm originally from Australia, for those who don't know. So I've been living here, and I've just been like, I don't know what I've been doing. I've been, just exploring. Really hanging out with really wonderful people, and it's been a huge self-discovery thing for me. I've been traveling for a while, and I don't know, how do I describe my reasons? It's kind of like there's this weird pull from within me that's just like taking me to these places. Like I'm in Portland, Oregon right now, and it was like the last place I would expect myself to be, but it's great, and I just trusted that flow. So the same thing's happening again with Iceland. That's where I'm going next on September 17th. I'm going to be spending a month in Iceland. I'm going to be like hiking and camping my way around Iceland for that time. And then I'm thinking about moving to Copenhagen. I'm thinking about living in Denmark for like 6 months or something like that. And then, I don't know. And then maybe I'll keep going through Europe depending on how much I like being back there. Or I might go back to Asia for a little bit because I love it there. I've been to so many countries there, and there's so many more to go to, so I'm just like really more inclined to head back there. It's like my second home. I remember the first time I went there, I was like 12 years old, and I was like, this is the most amazing place ever. Like the food and the culture and all that. I was always very, what's the word? Infatuated? Is that the right word? Just very obsessed with like Hinduism and Buddhism and all those kind of like more Eastern religions. So it was really cool to go there and experience that, see all the temples and stuff. Anyway, so I'm traveling to Iceland next, and I'm going on another silly adventure. I don't know what it's all about. I just love to travel, and I love to explore, and now I'm finally, how do I put it? I feel like I'm growing into the person that I wanted to be, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. And I think you're right, Rihanna. Like, it's this kind of, I don't know, it's just been giving me so much internal growth. I've been experiencing the world. It's been very, external. But it's given me the perfect opportunity to go internal, and to really kind of like challenge myself. Yes, but more in the sense of like, it's funny. I'm starting to realize more now that I don't have to challenge myself. And I don't need to. I can, but I really don't need to challenge myself. And, well, it's more, maybe it's not, I don't need to challenge myself. It's just things aren't challenges as much anymore. Because of the way that I look at them, the way that I kind of interact with, I don't know, things that happen in my life. I see it and like, I might be upset for a second. I might get anxious. I might get afraid. That totally happens. And those are totally beautiful and valid emotions. But now I'm in a place, I think, of so much self-security and self-assurity or whatever word I want to use. I don't know what word, if that's the right word, but just knowing that I can do it, and I believe in myself and, I just know things will work out. And it's not even belief in self, it's belief in like this universe, which is so, like, it's amazing to see how much everything is feeding everything. Like, I emphasize that beyond, like, I don't know, what's a terrible example I can think of? Like, Trump is feeding freedom, I think. You know, like, he's here doing terrible things, I think, like, logically, but I feel it, that he is feeding this incredible shift in all of us. And, yeah, just like everything else is. Like, the tree over there that's outside your garden, like, that is feeding everything as well.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a long answer, but that's what I'm doing right now. That's how I'm feeling and stuff.
What's been going on in the foxes then, you know, I'll giggle laugh, but but you know, I love what you're saying there, because it's honouring and respecting all the emotions that we go through, because that's part of our humanness, which is our temple, which holds our spirit, self and our souls.
Yeah.
But I think as you become more aware, and it doesn't matter what modality you're in at all, once you know that it all comes from a much higher source and you accept that, I've seen, while I've been doing these stairs, I'm seeing all different modalities come together in union. I did one last weekend which was called The Awakened. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So, and I'm seeing that going on all the time. And it is true, man has been the one to separate it. It's not separate at all. And the fact that when you go through those experiences, because you have more awareness, your perception, it doesn't mean to say that things won't happen. It doesn't mean to say that you won't feel them in that instant. But it does mean that you can then notice and just let it go, because you know that you're a being, you might want to put some assistance in that scenario, you know, and you can't do that if you're still having that attachment of energy onto you, can you? So I think it's wonderful what you're doing. It's lovely to catch up with you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a really interesting process, and like I don't want it to ever stop, really. Like,
no.
I don't think I'm ever gonna like master anything or whatever, but I feel like I'll just, I don't know, like all of us, we just keep going forward, and we all just keep kind of pursuing who we want to be, I guess. I don't know who that is anymore. It's kind of funny, like, maybe even 2 years ago, but definitely like 3 or 4 years ago, I had a very different focus in life. I wanted to be, like, famous, yes, but more in the sense of, like, you know, I wanted to be very successful, and, you know, I loved to know that, you know, lots of people wanted to listen to me and stuff like that. And now I'm like, oh my God, like, I just want to go and escape and, like, live in the woods by myself and, and, like, not escape the world in the sense of, like, it's also scary and terrible, but, like, my inner world is so, there's just so much cool stuff happening there. And, like, I love people. I love people so much. I'm always going to be, people always describe me as, like, the person that'll be I'll be sitting with, you know, friends around a campfire, and I'll be sitting there not saying anything, but just, like, sitting there smiling at everybody, because I'm just, like, so happy to be around, you know, just people. But I do love, like, and that's what this trip has been about, like, in Oregon and then in Iceland as well. I've been really feeling this urge to, like, I've spent a lot of time alone, but it's kind of funny. It's like this undistracted aloneness or something like that. I don't know how to kind of put it in words, but like I'm going to camp. I'm not like obsessed with camping or anything, but I just know that I need to go into the wilderness. I need to kind of get rid of any distractions. I need to kind of clear my space, have just all my things in a backpack, and just simplify things so I can really, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is what I feel, so I can do whatever I need to do. So it's going to be a really interesting month. I'm so ready, like, maybe halfway through, I'll be like, this is the worst thing ever, and book a flight to, like, Costa Rica and go, like, lie on the beach. But we'll see. Like, I've never done anything like this kind of hiking in cold, especially for this long, and alone as well. So it's going to be a really good adventure.
Your body's young, you know, so
that's true.
When we go to these fairs, obviously I'm old, and I really have to balance. There's things I can and can't do anymore, you know, especially with the change of the temperature, being out in the cold in the evening. So although it's been hot during the day, our evenings have turned quite cool. So what I do miss out on is, because there's a lot of shamans that go there. We had Sikadair from New Zealand last weekend and the weekend before. And, you know, last weekend in particular, it was out on a farmer's field. As soon as Ian and I stepped foot out of the car, in the car park from the car, you could feel the peaceful energy. The energy was awesome. But, you know, they obviously in the evening, they do, especially they did for exhibitors only, they did a specific one on the Friday night when we arrived. But Ian and I said, no, we just went out to dinner, because I can't, you know, because I would have been highly disappointed if I had have been there and not been able to attend. But yeah, it was, but we also did an opening and a close, which was in a market, which was nice.
Beautiful.
And that, but we couldn't go to the fireside, as you call it, you know, with the drums and everybody singing together and everybody sharing the awakening and unity. We couldn't do that, so which is a bit of a shame. But there we are.
That's all right. There's no need to do anything. Like, this is kind of funny. Like, and I was given this message very early on in my spiritual career, or whatever I should call it. But it was just this message of like, I was like, and it was before like 2012 and all that kind of thing. So I'm like, what do I need to do for the awakening? Like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? And I'm thinking to myself like this, I need to like meditate. I need to do this to like ascend or whatever. And I get this very simple message from my guides being like, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You can just sit in your room and do absolutely nothing and gain 300 pounds and you're still a part of the awakening or whatever it is. You know, like, this kind of thing is automatic, and not because, I don't know, we've been so slow and, you know, the universe is like, hurry up or anything like that. Like, maybe if you want to look at it like that, but I just feel like we're ready. And
yeah, there's many of us that are already well awake and have been for
and it's been going on for so long. Like, even like, I used to think it was like the past like 50 years, but now I'm like the past 50 million years. You know, like, this has always been happening. It will always happen, in the sense that we will always continue to just progress. You know, we will continue to, you know, become more.
It's a stage that we're at where it's becoming more prevalent to us. I mean, obviously we had the Awakened Weekend, and that was to bring many of us that were together in unity to raise vibration. And so, but I think many have been awake for a long time. It's just trying to pull, it's at pulling us together, as it were. In that sense. Yes.
I look at it kind of like a blossoming tree or something like that. Like, maybe 50 years ago there was like half the tree was in blossom, but now, like, I guess now the full tree is in blossom or something like that. Like, as we kind of, you know, and then there might be another phase of all the flowers die and maybe we all die and that's, that's the end of it. Or maybe the flowers die and, you know, become seeds and we become a seed for something else or whatever. You know, it's kind of funny.
Do you know what, Nick? You'll never, one of my sayings is, and I've got a picture on my wall up behind, that's Patrick Gamble. And I call it the Tree of Life. And I have a thing that, actually, when I speak to clients as well, is we're all members of the Tree of Life. We're all part of the Tree of Life. Like, if you sit and observe a big oak tree, just watch it. It has major 7 roots, and from there come many more. And you watch the tree, there's 7 branches, big ones. And then there's some more big ones, and more big ones, and more big ones. There is a little twig at the end of the last branch on each level, and a bird comes along and pecks the fruits, and he goes off and he poops somewhere else, and a new tree of life is started. And so it's no lesser or greater within the concept. And I think it's lovely if you can sit and observe a tree, observe it, and actually, you can actually see that, how powerful a tree is. I remember Lindsay and I went to see a beautiful big oak tree. It was fantastic.
They're
Together.
so beautiful, aren't they?
Mm.
We have such an incredible partnership with them as well. That whole idea of like we breathe out what they breathe in, and they breathe out when we breathe in, and
Yes.
there's just this incredible union between us. And I've started, thanks to like Oregon and all the amazing trees, I've really started to actually like sit and watch nature move. Like it's kind of funny. You look at a tree and it's like it's still, but like really all these things are moving all the time. They're all growing all the time, and so. You know, you don't necessarily see a branch grow out, but you'll see stuff, and it's a really, I don't know, it's a really beautiful meditation, I think, to just like sit and watch a tree. And even if it's wind blowing, that's great.
Just communicate with each other, and they do, that's right.
Do you connect to trees? Do you put your do you lean against the trees and bring up the energy of Mother Earth and the divine energy down? But do you ever put your third eye to the bark of the tree and just be still, let the energy flow through you and see what the tree has to say to you?
I haven't done it that way, but I have done something very similar. But I'm going to try that. I've never tried putting my third eye on there. I love that.
Yeah,
and
you
just like
put your
seeing
third eye
into
onto the tree, but also channel the energy through you from the divine and from Mother Earth, so that it is going up and down through you and the tree, and then just be still and ask for a message, and just be still and just see what comes to you, because some trees are keepers of wisdom. Some trees are peace trees. Some are wisdom trees, and you gain a lot of knowledge, the knowledge that you need from trees, and also connecting with Mother Earth. And your guides can connect with you very clearly, and will be able to tell you something you need to know, you know, and just see and just enjoy their energy.
It's such a good idea, and I'm in the perfect place to do it. Like, I went camping, what was it, like 2 weeks ago, and like the trees are so massive and so old and so beautiful, and I just want to like hug all of them and like live inside them. They're so beautiful. Like, I can't wait to have my house full of trees, like inside. Like, I want a tree growing through the center of my house. But yeah, I love that idea. I will try that next time. Just really kind of.
Yeah,
and then
Gemini has put about the singing trees and the singing plants. Has anybody seen that video? It's amazing. I think it's wonderful. It's the singing plants of Gemini.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they've got it wired up. They've got it wired up so that as the plants send out signals, they've wired it up to like a keyboard thing, and the plants, when you talk to them or if they like something, they send music out. Absolutely amazing, you know. So, that is worth singing. That's worth singing. It's worth singing about. It's worth watching the video. It fascinates me, and I even played it to one of my plants, which eventually did die. No, I've still got that one because I'm not very good at keeping house plants. But it was nice to just have the plants singing in the background. You know, you could play it in your greenhouses, and it would make all your tomato plants grow lovely, you know. Anyway, may I say the disclaimer, everybody, for the card readings? And Nick, are you up to doing some readings with us as well as talking?
Totally.
Oh, right, that's brilliant. So if there's anybody that would like a reading that's not in the chat room, could you please call in 631, I've lost it, it's gone, don't anybody type in the chat room, 631 353 4342 and enter 76408 to speak to the host, who is me. I'm under Cathies-Distant-Echos. I am your host, Lindsey-Harrison, and our other host is Riana-George, and you can see us on you can see us on camera. We just give you a little wave there. And we have a special guest today, Nick Fox, who is a medium. He's a psychic. He's an energy healer, I believe. He also works with crystals and silver and makes his own jewellery. And he's very knowledgeable about about spiritual things. If you have a question for him, even you can call in and ask a question, or post a question in the chat room. Jen's put her hands up in the chat room, so I'll unmute you in a minute, Jen. But I just need to say the disclaimer for the show. This is the Flying with Angels Angel Card Readings disclaimer. Readings on this show are for entertainment purposes only and do not replace the advice from medical, legal or financial services. Whilst we endeavour to assist you, readings are not set in stone. Future events may be affected by your own action or lack of actions and your own free will. Opinions of others in the chat room do not necessarily reflect the view of the host of the show. We reserve the right to remove a person from the chat room due to inappropriate behaviour. We simply ask that you be kind to one another, discuss things pertaining to the show and enjoy the show. You are welcome to post your own links in the chat room for the benefit of everyone. And that is written by me, Lindsey-Harrison, the host and founder of Flying with Angels. So Gemini Moon says she will behave. We're not that strict, but we have to remember that this is family time that this goes out, so we can't go over the top with the adult things. We don't like to. So we may like to, but we don't when we're on air. So I have a question for Nick. Nick, if you had any spiritual advice for anybody, what would it be?
That's a great question. Right now, I feel like for everybody, diving within yourself is like the best. Well, that's a dramatic word to use, but I think it's a very valuable, very meaningful thing to do for yourself right now. There's a lot going on outside of us. And I really believe that this outside world is always reflecting the internal world, just like the internal world, I guess, reflects the outside world. But, so the reason that there is so much going on outside is because there's so much going on inside as well. You know, we talk about the awakening and stuff like that. And we are kind of going through some consciousness thing. Very good at words, aren't I? So I really encourage everybody to spend a lot of time really kind of delving within and like not doubting the self or not critiquing the self or anything like that, but really kind of understanding that, how do I put this? Like your role in this is who you are. Like that's your addition to this, you know, this world is just who you are. So if you focus on that and if you find that, if you know, kind of pursue that, not with like, I need to know who I am, but more in the sense of like, who do I want to be today? How do I want to feel today? Like, what is uplifting to me? What is exciting to me? Like, pursue that. But yeah, I think that's been the biggest thing of this year. Everyone's kind of really getting this kind of self-empowerment boost and realizing that like we are in control of our lives and in control of, more importantly, how we feel. If I was going to tell anyone to like, the way to find God or anything like that is to like focus on how you feel. And that I think is the way to kind of connect with all that is. Everything is vibration, you know, spirit world, the non-physical. I like that we call it the non-physical because it's vibration. It's energy. It is something that, I don't know, I guess I should use the word flow. It's something that is always flowing through everything. And emotions are very, very vibrational, I think. So it's a very easy avenue to connect with the soul. But yes, dive within, everybody. Dive within and be loving of yourself and like be patient with yourself. And yes, maybe you can't meditate like that person over there. You don't see those incredible visions, but that doesn't make you any less or any less important or any less in any way. You're just doing it a little differently, and like that's exciting and that's beautiful. But I hope that makes sense. Sorry, it's a many faceted question.
I quite agree. There isn't any less or any higher, So anyway, shall we do some readings?
Yeah, I'm so ready.
Right, you're so ready. Right,
I'm always ready.
What we thought we'd do was Rihanna and I normally take it in turns.
Cool.
Before or after the guest, but if you're so ready, do you want to go? First, Nick?
Yeah, I don't mind. I love
and what about you, Rihanna?
I don't mind, Linz, at all.
Okay. Right. What, you don't mind what? Going first?
No, that's true.
All right. We'll let Nick do this first, and you go first. Then with the next person, I'll do the reading. How about that?
Right, no problem.
Rihanna and I will take turns.
Okay.
And Nick will go every time. Is that all right, Nick?
Yeah, totally.
Won't wear you out.
No,
You've got a lot of energy. Right. Well, we haven't any callers, but Jen, I'll go down and mute Jen so that Jen can come in and chat because I think she'd like a reading. So, hiya, Jen.
Hi, how are you?
We're all right.
I'm just laughing because you said Nick's got, Nick can go, and all I could hear is like Monty Python. He's a goer, My dad loved Monty Python, so.
Oh yeah, I like Monty Python. I don't know about Rihanna, but I always used to watch Monty Python. Yeah,
I love it. It's brilliant.
Yeah. You have to have a certain sense of humour to like it. And most of my friends have got that sense of humour.
I know.
Well, apparently it's one of the most, successful comedy things because it's just such, simple, mindless humour that it can translate to any language or... I don't know. I do love it, though.
Pardon me,
I've got my own ridiculous walk, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I know, so do I. My mum was British, and she did not like Monty Python at all. She didn't
really?
find any humor in it.
A lot of people didn't when it was out. I mean, I was a teenager when it was out. I remember me and Dave going to the pictures to see the last one they made, and you'd have it on the telly, but not very. Only sort of younger people liked it. Not many people. It was geared at the younger generation because they were younger then at the time, and it wasn't that popular. But over the years, little clips of it has made it really popular. And not only that, we've all got older now, you see. So, so we're the older generation, not the older ancient generation, but the older generation, and we liked it. So we've put, our grandchildren and children can think we're really silly now, but whereas it wasn't acceptable in those days. That they did a lot with, where they've got the foot stamps down on that, and they've put the cartoons in with the thing. That was all new technology then, it was sort of, how did they do that,
We used to love we had two comedians that both passed away now, and you can probably find them from some of the clips on YouTube, the two Ronnies, and they've got one, the big Ronnie was behind the counter with his red little brown coats years ago in them that haberdashery shop, and his two fork handles, and and the way they turned it around is so funny. There's many on there. They are, if I want to laugh, I watch the two Ronnies because they're absolutely hilarious. I love the two Ronnies.
I gotta look that up. I don't think I've seen
We
that one.
watched them too. We watched, my mom's friends were from the UK, so, we watched that. We were lucky, you know. I considered myself fortunate.
Yeah, it's great. They were great.
You want that diversity of humor, I think. If you can, like, the more you laugh at things, the more funny life is, obviously. But, I think that's a really, like, now that humor is so, I guess it is kind of worldly now because, like, the internet makes, you know, you can post a comedy video and anyone in the world can watch it, but it opens new avenues, I think, for different forms of humor and stuff like that. Like, you know, it used to be like, oh, that's British humor and this is French humor, but now it's becoming very, everything's humor.
It's like Sam says, or that area of people, and I say it as well, a good once-a-day belly laugh does you the world of good. And it's like,
if you're laughing, you can't do anything else.
If somebody's feeling down and got an issue, one of our advices is watch something funny. If you're watching something funny and you're concentrating on that and you laugh, you can't think or say or do anything else. So your monkey mind is out the window because you're having fun watching a comedy.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, it's true.
And you fall into that heart space, that beautiful heart space.
Yes. Yeah. Right, readings.
Yes, let's get back to business. So, Jen, did you have a question?
I don't know if I've got a question. I just like to know, I've had a couple of odd dreams lately, and I know, very interesting. And I'd kind of like to know what is really going on. I know things are in a bit of a flux, turmoil, for lack of a better word. Things are up in the air. And I'd like to know, I think, when things are going to settle. And yes, you know, I'm a reader too. But it's really hard to read yourself and trust in your own stuff when you're right in the middle of it.
Well, this is a dream, isn't it? Remember that. Remember that this is all a dream too. This is a wonderful little...
Life is but a dream.
Yes. There's this...
Should be
I think it's from Hindu religion where it's like, we're all God's dream, you know, we're all like God's, how do I put this? Like when you dream, you're not conscious of well, you kind of are, I guess, but you're not conscious that you're really dreaming. And so we're all God and we're not really conscious that we're dreaming. We're also not conscious that we're God. We're still figuring that one out.
Yes.
Yeah, remember that this is a dream. That's a very, very, very valuable perspective. It makes things light. It makes things easy. It makes things very flexible as well. Just because something's like this right now doesn't mean it will be like that tomorrow. And if you have that perspective and you follow that kind of, I guess, pattern or whatever, you emit that. You really do emit that to the world and you really do kind of send that message out. That whole idea of, you know, the external reflects the internal is a very, 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 very true, very valid, idea. And it's something that, like, I'm still comprehending for sure. Like, it's so complex. Like, it's not really to be understood. But anyway, I'm getting off the topic. So yeah, really remember that this is a dream. This is something that's so, not irrelevant. It's not like, because it's a dream, oh, it's fine, like, just do whatever you want. It's meaningless. It's not meaningless, but it's something that's always playing and always changing. And what's happening right now is not a representation of the future. It's kind of funny. We always think right now will reflect tomorrow, but it's so not true. Like, we kind of, it can be hard, you know, like, every day the sun does come up, and that's something that we do know will be happening every day for a while. But we were just shown 2 weeks ago or whenever it was that the sun can also be a little different and can be unexpected sometimes. And, you know, it gets an eclipse and it gets stuff like that as well. But anyway, so that's it's kind of like a coping mechanism, but it's very important. And I think we need those things. We need those kind of, it's like a placebo or something. We need that kind of stuff to kind of remedy the mind, you know, like Rihanna just mentioned it a second ago, the monkey mind. You know, the mind is a very cheeky, intelligent thing. You know, it creates so many scenarios. It creates so many things. Like, you know, if I said banana to you, you know, instantly your brain would think of, you know, not a million, but it could think of a lot of different things to do with a banana, and it could, you know, could bring up memories, it could bring up imaginations, it could bring up ideas, whatever. So really having that perspective kind of eases the mind, and it helps your mind kind of get through the day. You know, when you get really stressed and overwhelmed and really like worked up, it's just because the mind's really trying hard to figure out why, or figure out what, or who, or when, or whatever. It's trying to figure something out when it really doesn't need to. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't need to. So don't try and understand what's going on right now. Don't look at it as something like, oh, okay, because this is happening, this is why, and it's leading to this, and this is going to feed that, and this is going to lead there. We don't need to decide that yet. We don't need to figure that out yet. It's not for us to kind of, and it's not really for us to decide anyway, like, well, for us, like the mind to decide. It's something for our kind of, you know, what do they call it? The collective consciousness, or, you know, it's the soul of the planet, whatever you want to call it. It's this essence of us that really decides and really takes us to that next step. So, but that's an idea that can be used for everything. I believe, you know, this whole perspective of it's all a dream. So if you, what's an example? I don't know, maybe something really serious happens in the family, like a passing or something like that. Remember, it's a dream. It's like they didn't really die. They maybe died in this dream, but they're just as alive in, you know, another dream, you know, just around the corner, you know, whatever, you know, they're just alive. They're just as, you know, real. It's kind of funny, like that Louise, what's her name? Louise Hay, I think recently just passed, and I've been seeing all these posts from like spiritual, you know, teachers and, you know, just spiritual people that I know. And like, I enjoy it. I'm not judging them, but I just laugh when it's like, you know, RIP, like Louise, and like, you know, saying all these, like kind of having a sad mentality about it. When I know, and I'm sure these people know too, if they really think about it, like when I feel her, like I know she is so happy, like so happy, like I cannot even emphasize how happy she is right now. Like we should all be sitting there like, damn it, she got to die, like, why did she get to die? Like, I want to die. That's so unfair. Like, she gets to die and go and have that whole amazing adventure. Like, we kind of, I don't know, we kind of take these things very seriously, and we kind of take this life as, you know, it's it. This is it. This is all that we've got. Yeah, so remember, this is a dream.
It's supposed to be a dream. It's funny that you said that, Nick. A friend had a reading, an angel reading the other day, as a matter of fact, and they brought up this young fellow that came through, and he had said, man, I'm here, man. And he also said he wanted to pass on, don't worry about the way in which I died.
Yeah.
Tell them it's okay. Tell them just forget about all that. Because I am great. I am doing fine. Like, this is, you know, it's good. I'm all good here. Tell them to forget about the way in which I died.
Yeah.
And so she said, yeah, I'm going to pass that on, because he was my son's best friend.
Yeah.
And, you know, I still get all these chills and goosebumps and whatever thinking about it. And so the reader said to the young woman, she said, do you mind me asking, how did he die? Because she had no idea, of course. And the young lady said, no, I don't mind. She said, actually, he was killed by a blow to the head. And it was very tragic, very, you know, sudden. There was court cases, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But what he had passed on was it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let it go, because, you know, and so from what you've just said, it's just sheer validation.
Cool.
Right?
I'm really glad.
That is cool.
Yeah. That's so important. Like, well, I think my job is pretty much to validate things for people. You know, to reaffirm. It is. And it's a great thing. Like, it's such a good thing, because I'm empowering people to make their own choices, to make their own definitions, to like reach their own conclusions. Like we need to self-empower, all of us. And it's so true. Like I've always encountered that in readings. Whenever the person I'm doing the reading for, they start talking about the death, and like I see the soul just like, oh God, like why do they have to go to this again? Like they're just so like, this is so like irrelevant. Like they gave me this image just then of like, do you always do you focus on the moment of opening the door and going through it? Or do you focus on the room that you were in before and the room that you're going into next? You know what I mean? Are you focused on, the experience that you had in this room and the experience that you're going to have in the next one? Or are you just focused on opening and closing that door? That one little moment, that tiny little transition, that one little step that takes you to that next room. It's so funny. It's so fascinating. And like, there's still readings where I've, had people come through and like the soul's like, okay, this is why I died and this is how it happened. And this is, that still happens, but it's mainly like the only reason they bring it up, or what I've encountered, the reason they bring it up is to just kind of bring a bit more peace around the situation. Cause like I said, if it's a tragic one or something, some people still try and they need to fathom it. They need to kind of figure out why or what, or, what was the reason.
But if I may cut in there, Nick, you have to have compassion for the loved ones that are left behind, because a death is a very big upset.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most stressful things that can happen in your life. And for the people that are left behind, and the ones that can't understand it, or they do understand it, they've still got this loss that they won't see this person again. And even though, I believe in the afterlife and that, and I have a lot of psychic friends, and I have spirits visit me. But when somebody dies, it is still upsetting. And a lot of people say you're crying for yourself, but sometimes I don't think so when you hear of the stories of the person that's passed over and how they were, and they will come back. And I think they come back to tell you how they died so that you can connect to that person can connect to you. But sometimes they will say, well, at the end it was difficult. At the end I wasn't the same person as I was. So I think when you do look at how somebody's died, being a medium or psychic, you know that life goes on the other side, but you have to have a certain amount of compassion, and also sometimes compassion for the person that's passed over, because a lot of people will have a sudden death and they don't understand it and they don't know where to go, so they'll go to the first light that they see to help them cross over. I've known that happen, and they'll be in a state of shock, and it's only after they've done, I don't know, like a transition thing or whatever, that they get to understand that they have died. And you have to have some empathy with them, but that's my 5 eggs worth. I just thought I would put that in.
No, it's so great. It's so great. Like, it's something that's very, very human, I think, or very, like, I've seen it, you see it in some animals, you see those amazing, footage of, like, elephants that, walk past another dead elephant, like, from their family, and they'll stay there for an entire day and, like, circle and spend time there. Or there's even evidence of them revisiting, like, old bones where, past elephants have died from their family or whatever, and they walk past them and just kind of touch them, for a second.
See, the elephant whisperer that adopted a lot of elephants and kept them safe, and when he did it for, 50 years or whatever, and when he died, the elephants all gathered around his complex to pay their respects to him, and they came just before he died, and when he did die, they all stayed there for a long time before they moved.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
If you look at the chat room, there's wanting some readings, and it's 4 minutes past 5.
Okay. Sorry, I'm no,
right.
that's good. Usually Chris has like a bell that she's like, stop reading, people.
I'm looking at the
Have
chat.
you finished doing Jen's reading, Nick? Because
Yes,
Rihanna's
yes. Are you happy, Jen?
After you.
I'm always happy, Nick.
Okay, good. Excellent. Thank you for calling.
I'm just going to do a quick addition to that, Jen, because I
Thank you.
Nick was saying to you, okay? Because, in fact, because of all these energies that are taking place at the moment, right, everybody is affected by them. And I would say don't pay too much attention to your dream state at all. I've been having clients and people come to me and I'm saying, just sit quiet and then, enjoy your human space at this present time. Take a break from your spiritual connections and just as the river flows by, let it flow. And slowly, everything will start to slowly get back into its rightful space. It's just that you've had a sort of what I call a dream attack coming, and it's just energy. Okay, so I hope that helps you. I've got here, I've had 4 cards come out. Would you believe it? Archangel Jophiel encouraging you to go outside. Right. I also had be patient with yourself, my child. I also had, because you know what to do, it says, you know what to do, right? Very much so. And you also need to prioritize it for yourself. Okay? And, yes, you will continue teaching and learning. Very much so.
Okay.
You also must just go for yourself. Blessings and love.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Blessings and love to you. Thank you.
You're welcome, darling.
Thanks, Jen. Lots of love.
Yes,
I love that deck, Rihanna. Isn't it so cool? It's one of my favorites.
Yes,
thank you very much, Jen, for joining us today. That's lovely.
I love this time of day. So this is.
Oh, well, we do our shows this time of day because it's the only time that fits in with Rihanna and I. And it's every 3 weeks. Occasionally we go 2 weeks and then 3 weeks. But from now until Christmas, it will be every 3 weeks that we... No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, we have got... It's either every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, depending on fitting guests in and what we're doing as well.
Well,
so the next one after this will be 3 weeks. Jen.
I love this time of day. It works out really well for me unless I have the ladies, the grandkids. I've got granddaughters. Twins, and so if they're up, then I don't really get a chance to come to the computer and listen in. But I love the morning, so this works well.
That's wonderful. I'll bear that in mind when I'm planning future shows. And of course, your children have gone back to school now, haven't they?
My children are all grown, so.
Oh yes, but your grandchildren.
No, the grandchildren are 20 months old.
Oh, but lovely.
Cute.
So they're a going concern, and they love talking. They've got full vocabularies, and they love Skype. So if they see anyone on Skype, they have to sit down and say hello. So.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
I know, it's quite magical.
I love that.
Yeah, the children do. They lift people up. I used to show Kathy Bradshaw pictures of Bella, and also I sent her a video of Bella sat on my lap when she was a baby, and it really picked her up. She really loves seeing Bella, and the twins, we never got them on Skype with Kathy, but I did with Bella, and children's energy, they're so natural, aren't they? You
They
know,
are.
and
And one of the
they
twins
always,
is Bella, Lindsay. So isn't that funny?
oh, isn't that funny? Because over here, Bella, we have a magazine called Bella, and it's gradually becoming a more popular name. But when my son said we're going to call her Bella, we thought, well, that's an unusual name. But I'm beginning to hear of more people with children called Bella. But fancy your granddaughter being called Bella as well, one of them.
I know.
What's your other one's name? Our other granddaughter's Hannah.
Adelaide.
Adelaide.
Adelaide
Nice
and
name, isn't
Annabella. So, and we call it Bella and
Anyway,
Addie. Yes. We must go. Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And on with
Thanks,
the
Jen.
show.
Lots of love.
Welcome.
Okay. Bye.
Right, thank you very much, Jen. I'm going to mute you, and I shall now pass Nick. The next person to have a reading is Gigi. So, could you give Gigi a reading, please? She's in the chat room and she's listening, and she's not been feeling too good lately. So, could you please give her a reading?
I'm excited, Gigi. Hello. How are you? So first of all, lots of love. Life can be really hard. Really kind of, like, give yourself that, like, kind of, hey, it's okay. Like, life can be tough. There is nothing, like, there's nothing harder than life. You know, we're putting so much energy into things. We gotta wake up every day. We gotta get out of bed. Oh my God, we gotta have a shower. Like, combing your hair, and like there's just a lot of things that we have to do, and it takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort. There's definitely this kind of, I don't know, maybe you've already been doing this, but I feel like lie down, like chill out, relax, sleep in, like read a book in your bed all day. Like there is this kind of call to relax, and they want you to relax, and there's nothing wrong with relaxing. And you know, sometimes we think we're supposed to be doing all these things, and I need to create this, and I'm not contributing by doing that. But I'm always reminded of the monk in the cave. And, you know, we hear stories of these wonderful, amazing, you know, kind of mystical people that like live in the mountains, you know, or live in a cave, and they just sit there. You know, they just sit there and live every day in this cave. And that is their kind of, I guess, like spiritual practice or spiritual mission or whatever you want to call it. That is their life purpose, whatever. And they do incredible things, you know, like the great, what's the, damn it, I've forgotten his name. It's a really amazing Zen Buddhist monk, and he talks about this whole idea of the greatest action is inaction. The greatest gift you can give this planet is nothing, because you are already that gift. You are already that incredible, you know, blessed soul. Like it does not even, you know, your name, take away your name, take away, you know, where you grew up, take away all of that, and just remember that you are just this brilliant, radiant, amazing soul. Like that is the only thing that you should be, that any of us should be focusing on right now, is just really focusing on that soul and really focusing on that essence of like who you are. Focus on, you know, like, hey, I'm not feeling good. Okay, like I always encourage this to people. Really treat yourself like a mother would with a child. You know, if the child's feeling upset, what does the mother do? But like instantly pick up the child and nurture the child. Like nurture yourself. You know, really give yourself that gift, and really kind of, you know, if you're feeling upset about something, like sit and relax. Like it's not saying, I'm not saying sort it out. I'm not saying go and do all these things. Just sit and like really feel it, and be okay that you're kind of going through this, and be okay that you're feeling this emotion. You know, being upset, it doesn't feel that great. You know, in your body, you're kind of like, ugh, like it doesn't feel that good, but it really does wonders. You know, like I think that's why we're starting to realize this. That's why I think these teachings of like, you know, validate, like, all your emotions are valid, and that idea, you know, like feel these things, they're all a part of life, you know, like those ideas are very important, and we're really starting to, kind of realize that in a really strong and powerful way. And I think the reason is because we're starting to see that these negative emotions, like we all know, like you go through hard times and you come out of it and, you know, you grow through those hardships. But we kind of don't realize that, like, partly why that happens, well, I think partly why that happens is because through kind of being in that uncomfortable place, through being in that kind of whatever it is, suffering, I guess is a good word for it. That's what the Buddhists call it. They call anything that doesn't feel good suffering. But when you're in that space, you really find something. You really find something sweet and something beautiful because you're letting go of everything, really. Like when you're feeling really sad, like you're just feeling really sad. You know, you're not really thinking, like you are thinking, and you know, that's the what's the word? The repetition of it, the depression that people can fall in is because you're thinking about it as well as feeling it. But if you really just sit and feel it and you really kind of get into that space, it's just like laughing, where if you just sit and laugh, you get into that space of like the heart or whatever you want to call it, the center of, you know, your soul or whatever. You do that with sadness. You do that with these emotions as well. So don't look at them as wrong or bad or anything like that. Don't look at where you're at as wrong or bad. Don't look at, you know, oh, I'm experiencing this, so I must be bad. No, nothing like that. I'm experiencing this, so I'm failing or I'm not doing, and don't let any of those thoughts come in. That's not the reason. It's just simply, it is what it is, really, but it's partly what you wanted in so many ways. And like, this is why I don't want you to kind of understand things or figure things out. Like, this is just part of like the way that your soul, I guess, wanted things to flow. Be really patient with yourself, be really understanding with yourself, and just remember that, like, it's a hard thing for people to kind of hear, but it's what you wanted. It's what you wanted. As long as I know there's suffering, and I know that there is, you know, pain, and you think like, what? Why would I ever want pain? Like, why would I choose this? But it does really give you things. And I really see you finding yourself through this whole process. Be really patient, be really understanding, be really kind of funny. I like how I say understanding a lot, because it's like, don't understand anything, but be understanding in the sense of like, hey, like, I'm still learning. We are all still learning. What's his name? Forgotten his name. Jesus on the cross. He was still learning. Even, you know, he's like ascended or something, didn't he, in that story? Like, even then he was still learning. You know, God is us learning. You know, like everything is still kind of going through things and still kind of, we're not going to reach an end point, you know, so don't really focus on that. Bring yourself back to today and go, okay, I can do this. I can do today. If I'm going to do any day, I can do it today at least. But yeah, that's a really big message for you, is really like, be a mother for yourself, and really, you know, if you're feeling tired, have a rest. If you're feeling upset, give yourself a hug. Tell yourself, hey, it's okay. Like, it's fine. Like, that's the biggest thing. I feel like they're teaching you, or whoever they is, your soul is kind of, you know, bringing to your attention, is just now you're bringing your, how do I put this into words? You're kind of learning to love yourself in a new way. You're learning to deal with yourself in a new way. You're learning to kind of be yourself in a new way. And it can be weird, and it can be changing. It can be uncomfortable, and it is, you know, it's changes. So it can be hard. But I don't know, I think none of that really matters, because like when I just feel you, when I just feel who you are, it's like that, the sadness is not irrelevant. It's not meaningless, but it's minimal to what you really are. And if you start focusing on that, and you start focusing on like, oh my God, like, I'm a soul, like even just that idea, like you could spend years just contemplating that idea, but just really kind of simplify it and take it back to that, and remember like, hey, like I'm a soul, I'm God in form, experiencing myself. Like,
thank you, Nick. Can I cut in there? And
I was actually done, so it's perfect
another
timing.
2 readings
Yeah,
to do, and it's
I keep looking at the clock. I'm like, oh no.
But that was a lovely reading for Gigi. Gigi, I'd just like to say the card I got for you was the Six of Raphael, which is telling you to embrace your inner child, which was basically what Nick was saying, but also do things that you enjoy or focus on things that you enjoy, and that will lift you and your inner child. This also shows your inner child is you as a young girl when you were a young girl, and you had a friend that you used to play with. That friend will be coming back into your life sometime, I reckon, soon. You will have a new friendship come to you, and you will be able to connect to this person, and there will be a friendship there which will make you laugh and make you enjoy things, and you'll also be able to reminisce about things you did when you were younger. And this card also represents not only your own childhood, but children. So I don't know if you have any grandchildren, grandchildren, or if your neighbours have children, or you have nephews and nieces, but children are going to come into your life, and they will lift your energy up, and you will enjoy them. So Gigi's put in the chat room she was troublemaker with her friend, and also a person who's just contacted her from her childhood, and so that card is spot on. This card also shows you as the little girl as a mermaid. So if you must be very connected to the sea or rivers or nature, if you can't get out and about to anywhere where there is water or even a fountain of water, try watching some nice videos of places of interest that you like that have got the sea, the rivers or fountains in it, Gigi, if you can't travel, or unlike nice islands or things you used to like to do. And I've got an image of pirates. Did you used to say pirates for your friend? I don't know. But I feel you're very connected to the sea, and if you are of a mermaid origin, that doesn't go away. That connects you to the sea and the dolphins, who are very healing, and the whales as well. So I hope that helps you, and that's all I have for you, except you are being surrounded in a lot of love and light. So I hope that helps you, Gigi. And now we need to go over to Gemini Moon, Nick.
Okay. Is she in the chat as well?
She's in the chat. Have you not got your chat on, Nick?
I do. No, I got it. I was just making sure.
Oh, because if you go to bird's eye view, you can see the chat, the pictures, and who's actually on, and the users that are actually with us.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that is a little bit better. Okay, cool.
Is that better? Plus you can see
like
the
that.
three. Oh, right. It's 8 minutes to go, and Mick just found out. Well,
I can do this.
I'm not going to keep this on time. I normally have to go on time because Bella comes over and I babysit, but she's not coming today. So we've got time to do Gemini, and we've got time to do Native First Lady now. So, and if my sister Viv would like a reading, can you please put it in the chat room, Viv? So, over to you, Nick, for Gemini Moon.
Awesome. I didn't check Gemini. Do you want to ask a question, or should I just dive right in? I'll just dive right in. If she wants to ask a question, you can ask one, and I'll answer it too.
I just dive in, because she said she'd like a reading, but she didn't have a question, I don't think.
So a lot of growth. Oh my God. It's amazing to feel how much you've grown this year. It's like, how do I describe it? They give me like an image of you like really trudging up a mountain. And it seemed like it was hard, but I really feel like it was heartwarming. I don't know why they want me to use that word, but it feels very fulfilling. That's a good way of putting it. It feels like you really, it was hard and you did a lot of work and you did a lot of stuff, but it really took you to a new place and you saw the reason, and you saw the purpose, and you felt the path, where it was taking you. So you've become like a new woman, and that's really exciting. Really like believe in yourself and be confident in that. Be really like yes, like I am a new person. I have done a lot. I have changed. I have worked hard. Like I noticed the things that I wanted to change. I noticed what I wanted to, come about, and I know what I want, and you've been very clear with that, and that's really exciting. There's a lot of like angels around you for sure. Like I feel like I'm not sure whether you've got a lot of past relatives or it's just like, I don't know, you just got a lot of support. It just feels like there's a lot of that kind of spiritual energy or whatever, that kind of energy that, that's a good way of putting it. Think about it like, okay, yes, this is a good way of putting it. Think about it like you have some weird conscious connection to all your past lives, and they can all communicate to each other at once. It's like you've got all these teammates, I guess, all these versions of yourself that are really assisting you, that are really kind of giving you wisdom, that are giving you answers in a way that you like. Okay, this is a really juicy one. I think you'll like this. So everyone has, we all probably know this. Everyone has, souls and stuff around them, and we all have this sort of this team, I guess. Your team is just very unique, and you've made that a very kind of, it seems like a very big part of your life is your kind of your soul family and that kind of spiritual stuff. Like you've been very focused on that, and you've always been supported by that. I see you as a very confident young little kid, like doing things because you've got that team around you. It's really beautiful. And yeah, I really feel like that now. It's kind of like this full circle like feeling for you. A lot of things are coming full circle or coming into place or like settling in. So just keep going. Next year is going to be really exciting for you. I just get this feeling of like you really reaping rewards from like what you've done. So be really patient with that and really like have fun. Because like, it's kind of like the way that they put it is like you haven't felt this kind of successful before, and you'll get the opportunity to feel it, and it's something you've been wanting for a while, and you'll really enjoy it. You will really enjoy this kind of new adventure. And you'll really see how everything's been leading up to this point. I hope that makes sense. Oh, what? No, don't cry. I always get so upset because people cry when I do this, and like people, like this happened to me like a week ago. Someone asked me to give them, it was a friend of mine that I just met, like, for the first time, and we're friends now, and she asked for a reading because she found out I was like a reader, and we're in the middle of a bar, and I'm like, no, like you're going to start crying. Everyone always starts crying when I do it for them in a bar. Anyway, so I got so sidetracked. But yeah, I'm really excited for you. I do feel like, I'm not sure if you do readings, but I really feel like that's going to take a whole new, like, adventure as well. I really feel you're going to connect to spirit or whatever in a really deep and new way. That's really exciting. I hope that all made sense. I hope that, it was exciting and interesting. Sorry, I tried to, like, be as quick as possible. But yeah, Rihanna, would you like to add anything?
I'm just going to go really, I have more or less, these cards fell out actually at the beginning of your read, and I have that clear your space, Jophiel, but I think that you are clearing your space. I think this has been a time coming, as Nick said, you've been working, but it's like you haven't, the doors are now going to be coming well open for you, sweetheart. And I do feel that I need to tell you to be gentle with yourself during this process, because it's a process of new birth. Right? This is what happens on your growth, on your spiritual growth. And now is the time for you to just allow that new birth, and as it comes in, you will know the divine time exactly, if you like, when to walk through the door, because you've been doing the process. Yeah, you've been working the process. You've been giving your energy and your time and your space to it, and you've hung on in there, darling, and you've not given up on yourself. You know, and that is recorded up there, really. Okay, and so when this is becoming an auspicious time for a lot of people, but right now I'll tell you this is going to be an auspicious time for you, and I see you working very closely with clairvoyance, my darling. Okay, and Archangel Michael's the one that's suggesting that you do be gentle on yourself, because I think there's times when you haven't. Now's the time to just breathe. You know, take that time, because it's very precious, because when it does go, it's going to go whoosh. Right? And I've had the same message from a psychic medium while I've been away, that there's a lull, and then when it takes off, it's don't need it. I'm like, yeah, right. But yes, and I've got to spend more time outdoors as well, Archangel Michael. But the most important one, while this is all going on, know that those are tears of releasement, bringing tears of joy, bringing abundance in you for who you really are. Raphael just says, breathe, my treasure. Just breathe. Allow. And the door is opening. And you're going to be doing a lot of work with your clairvoyance. Blessings and love, darling.
I love that. That was great. Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
no. Yeah, good.
A very good reading from you both, wasn't it? Now, Nick, the next one is Native American Earth Lady. Now, she's the guest in the chat room.
Okay, cool.
So she's listening. You know, I think you know now, don't you?
I don't know. It's actually not familiar.
Native Earth Lady.
Maybe. I hope. Oh, God. Oh, no. Have I forgotten who you are? Do you know me on Facebook? How do I know you? Oh, I feel terrible. Damn. I'm sorry.
You know her from Chris's show.
Oh, of course. Okay, yes. That's terrible. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, what do I feel for
Now, she's Eddie L. Now. Right, never mind.
Oh, no.
Are you
So
okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling.
I was going to say, you're in a space.
I know, I am lost in space right now.
Do you want me to go first?
I don't mind.
Okay, I'll go first, shall I?
Okay.
Now I'm going to go first, and then Nick can come in. That'll give him time to tune in to you. She's the one that wanted your body, Nick.
I know, it was making me laugh. So I'm like, yeah, I remember that. That's so good.
Comment on his shorts. Do you remember that, Nick?
Yeah, oh my God, yeah.
Shorts.
What's that?
Years ago, there used to be pictures of Nick when he was in Oz with his shorts on, and I always used to comment about his shorts.
Yeah.
Because I love shorts.
But he looked so really cool in them, you know.
Thank you.
I won't say what's on here because it's during the day, but you can't say it. Sorry. Yes, that's what I was going to say. This.
This is for Native Earth Lady. This is the page of Raphael there, and I'll just look into it now. It shows Archangel Raphael looking after you and over you. You are sat on a carpet, a magic carpet, wishing to go away from wherever you are, and you're quite sad, and Raphael and the Divine and Mother Mary are putting a nice blanket around you of colour. They're walking with you and empathising with you and sending you love and comfort and healing. And although you're sat there, you're thinking of going to different place, going somewhere else. You know that it's not possible at the moment, and if things are being rocky at the moment, that will calm. Or if the last few months have been rocky, that will calm, and things will go calmer for you. Around you, things will be calmer. Calmer, not karma. Calmer. Anyway, that'll be calmer, and your wishful thinking of you might travel, but I feel you're thinking of a home, a new home, and so you're thinking of a new home, and that might materialise. Focus on what you want and not on what you don't want. And there's blue skies in this for you, and things are going to be good. It says there's a new emotional situation, but if you come up to a new emotional situation, you will sail through it. You've got the knowledge and wisdom to do what you can to improve the situation. And messages regarding relationships or social invitations are becoming your way, and you will have great intuitive insights. So if you're psychic, you're going to open up a bit more. But know that Archangel Raphael is in the background looking after you, and this card represents somebody who's gentle and loving and dreamy and open-hearted. Now this could be a younger person, because it's the page. It could be a younger person near you or connected with you, and yes, it's somebody that if they're not in your life, they will be in your life. The page of Raphael usually represents a teenager in your family, so you have somebody around you who's very gentle, loving, dreamy and open-hearted. So I hope that helps you, and know that the Divine are going to smooth things out for you and smooth the way as best as they can. You are surrounded in a lot of violet light, which I don't know if you follow Jesus, but that's very much magenta and violet. It's very much his colour, and I feel he's walking with you too. So over to you, Nick.
Well, thank you. That was beautiful, by the way. Especially the move. I do feel the move.
You saw the moon?
Yeah, the move.
The move.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if I hearing test soon.
No, it's okay. It's like the karma and the karma. Karma and karma. Karma and karma. I've never thought about those two words together.
It's because of my accent. I said karma, but it might have come over as karma.
As karma, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so Nell, definitely about the breath to start off with. And they're coming through with a very whatever attitude, not in a, what's a better way to describe it? Just very chill. I see this kind of hippie peace dude. Just breathe, man. Just chill and just breathe. That's a really big message for you though. Really taking the time to be quiet and to Like, it's meditation, yes, but I don't want you to look at it as like meditation, because I feel like you look at it as like a task, a thing that needs to be done, when it's an example that I could use. It's something that is very, very generous to give yourself. It's like something that I know, and I still probably don't do it as much as my mind says I should, but it is a very, very incredible gift that you give yourself. Just really just taking the time to sit and breathe. Breath is a huge one for humans. You know, we need it to live. And we actually don't breathe as much as we used to. Like, what's a good way of describing it? Like, picture us as like hunter-gatherers or whatever. And this isn't like, oh no, we're not breathing enough, so the whole world needs to start breathing. I'm not really saying that, but I think they're leading into something with this. But you know, we used to be like doing things all the time, and we were, you know, active, and it was a very different kind of interaction with the world. And the breath, I know, like, it's just maybe more full. I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels like for you, that's going to be a really big focus. Like, they want you to kind of go back to your primal self of like, don't get distracted by, you know, the TV or by internet as much. Like, bring yourself away from like the screen, away from, like the outside world almost, and really bring yourself to the within. I don't really like maybe, you never know, but I don't really see you like going on weird like astral journeys. Like, that's not the point of this. It's more about just being still and quiet with yourself. You'll get a lot of answers. It's kind of funny. Like, the way that they put it is like, well, they give me an image of you. I don't know, maybe today you need to figure out, a good example, you need to figure out like a tax form or something like that. I don't know. This is an example. You need to figure out how to fill out this form, and you don't know what to do, and it's been stressing you out for weeks, and it's like, oh, I don't even know what to do. And so you sit and you meditate instead, and you just go and you just chill out and you just take a moment. And through doing that, you find exactly what you needed to do. You find that answer. You find the, oh, I remember now, like, this is what I had to do. Or, oh, I remember, like, I was supposed to call this person to sort this out. It'll really give you answers without you having to seek the answers. That's kind of a really big, amazing gift of like, not only meditation, but just like being very, like, let it come. You know, that whole idea of like, let the universe provide and stuff. That's what it kind of means, is that you don't go out and seek some solution or some answer or anything like that. You let it come to you. And that's a really big message for you right now. It's just like, let it come to you. Let it happen. Let it flow. Like, let it kind of be. This feels kind of similar to the reading I did before, where it was like, you don't really need to do that much right now. You don't really need to focus so much on the world. You don't need to figure out these problems, you know, like, yes, that terrible thing is happening, but like, don't let that distract you from who you are, because the second you get distracted from who you are, you're not really being who you are. You're not following that kind of, that flow and that intuition. I think that's why there are a lot of kind of crazy things going on, is because people aren't really tapping into their self and really realizing that, oh, if I just listen to me and I just trust my, you know, intuition, I'll be led to where I need to be. I don't have to like do all this, you know, crazy stuff. But yeah, that's definitely just a big message for you. Just like breathe and relax and chill and like let those answers come. Let the, you know, the opportunities arrive. Like with the house, you know, like don't, you can still look for houses, of course, like still go to houses and visit them, but you don't have to stress about it. You don't have to, you know, think that, oh no, I'm not going to get it. Like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Let it happen. Let it occur. But yeah, it's a big message for you about peace. So just really focus on that peace as much as you can right now. And I think it'll give you the answers that you're seeking. Like, no one else can give you these answers or these feelings either. It's up to you. It is really up to you. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. I can't think of anything. Well, I can't feel anything else. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. No worries. And I appreciate the compliments. It makes me blush and I get very shy, but I appreciate it.
Hi, Nell. Hello, darling. I'm actually going to but follow on what Nick has just said, because while I'm sitting here, I'm getting this. And although the cards probably have a title possibly with a different meaning, I see in what he said, I did actually have all is well, and be patient. And to be patient, it means just take a deep breath and go and sit. I know you love Mother Earth. Just go and sit there when it gets stressful, and to take that time out and be assured, dear soul, that things are going to be perfect for you, because we have Shamarel here, that this move, when it takes place, is not a shift, it's natural physical move, and it will all go very, very smoothly, providing you have, it says, take heed, stay with your courage. Always have that much gentleness upon yourself. Although the angels are here saying be gentle on yourself, it's like they're saying you can do that for you. They're there in a supportive background, but you can do it, sweetheart. And of course, we all know that it's leadership that will come eventually, because you are such an awesome teacher on many levels, and due to your situation, obviously you're taking time out from that. But it will happen. It will come back. Okay. I think. Yes. Learn that all is well. That your loved ones actually, they're with you in your every breath, in your heartbeat. And that there comes a period of time when there is a separation period, where you're getting used to it, and so is he. But he hasn't. He's there. He's actually very close by. Sometimes we have to be in an observation space for your loved one down here on Earth to get used to it, to move. All right, but he's there, and he's saying all is well. Okay, and yes, I do see in the leadership sense, you are. Yes, it is hard to move at the moment. It is hard to move on at the moment. Let that just flow, because it will come eventually. Okay? You have to be, again, we have the patience card. Be patient with yourself. Take time out in nature. When things get difficult, go out and take a deep breath. Space out for a little bit, and you'll go back and you will have clarity. Okay? And yes, there's an awful lot of clairsentience that you have and you will be working with within this beautiful transformation and this experience in your life. Things will lift, my darling. Allow that, because, you know, we were talking about feelings, and that is your blessed space to be. That's fine. That's fine. It's not a problem. And these things, if you like, a rebirthing for you. And that will grow. I do feel this. Take your time. Don't. It's like you focus on that love energy that's all around you, that comes from Mother Earth. You are entitled, more so at this present time, to receive it in abundance. In abundance, my darling. Much love. Now, I love you. Namaste.
That was lovely, Rihanna. I've just asked for you now, and also for Gemini, and perhaps Gigi, to be surrounded in love, because you've made you've made Nell cry now, and Gemini was crying, I think, or was it Gigi crying? Anyway, please know that your guardian angels and Archangel Raphael and Jesus are surrounding you in peacefulness and calm and lots of love at the moment. And if you need a shoulder to cry on, the angels, Jesus and the angels are always there for you to wipe your tears away. I'd like to thank everybody for coming, and for Nick for being such a wonderful guest. I've put up a picture of one of his jewellery necklaces that he's made, his crystal pendants. And if you go to the show page after the show, you will find there a link to his Facebook page, which you can contact Nick with to find out more about his jewellery and what he's doing, and also follow him on his travels around the world. Now, before we go, I'd like to say thank you to everybody. I'd like to give a shout out to Gemini Moon, Gigi, Jen, our guest Native Earth lady, Nell, our lovely Nell, and to Viv Gilbert, and to Rihanna and Nick, and to everybody else that listens to the archives. Thank you so much for joining us, and we've really enjoyed it, and I think Nick has enjoyed it as well. As a gift for Nick, I feel that I would like to do a reading for Nick. I don't know if Rihanna would like to as well, but this is a nice card that I've picked for you, Nick, and thank you very much, and namaste, and you have got such a wonderful uplifting energy. You're very connected with your higher self, and I wish you well with your travels. The card that's come up for you, I don't know if you know the Archangel Power cards, it's the Three of Ariel. Now, Archangel Ariel is an angel. You always know when she's around, she sends you birds. Birds will be flying around like seagulls, blackbirds. When you find a lot of birds around, she's very connected to birds. Think of Archangel Ariel, because she helps you with artistic pursuits and moving on, and life changes, and things that you've got on the back burner, she brings forward for you, or she encourages you to explore things. Not that you want much encouragement, but I feel Archangel Ariel will be going with you, and she will be. I feel that she is a guide for you. She might not use the name Ariel, but she will be assisting you to meet the people you need to meet on your journeys over to Iceland and also down through Europe. Now, these journeys that you have will be very easy. The universe will work with you. People will come into your life, and you will be guided to the places you need to go. And Iceland won't be as hard as what you're thinking it's going to be, and you'll find it very enjoyable. Now, this shows you on your endeavours, you're looking to the future with a lot of wonder, and I feel that your talents are going to really come out more than what they have now. You will be settled, you will feel settled where you're going to next in Iceland. And if you do, I just feel you may spend longer in Iceland than what you think. I find you will also, I was going to step out my comfort zone here. You're going to have a very successful relationship with somebody in Iceland as well. And they will give you the confidence and the friendship that you need to complement you. Okay?
I love that. Thank you.
And they will be very much part of your life, but they will be a complement to you. And if you're not sure where you're going, they will give you the encouragement for you. And they will cheer you on. They will be like a cheerleader for you. And they will lift you when you need lifting, although you don't need lifting very much, but you must have times. You must have times when you sit in a retrospective way and just think of what you're going to do and where you have been, as well as being with you in the past. They will be with you in the future times as well, and they are very close to you, more close than what you realise. And you and them have a lot of past life connection going back over different lifetimes, and you're together now because you suit each other. It's not to release any karma. It's not so that you've come together so you're going to part. It's just that you've always, in the many past lives that you've had, been very good friends, and you're going to be with this person again if you're not already with them. And you will meet this person, and there will be somebody in Iceland that will touch your heart, and you will know. You will have a recognition of them. And they will have a recognition of you. I don't know if you've ever had that when you've met someone from a past life. You have that recognition, and it is just so strong. So look out for that. Know that your travels are going to go very well, Nick. And also, when you go to Iceland, on a spiritual level, your light and brightness, your light and the way you are is needed there. Even if it's to lift well, your smile can lift people up, even if it's somebody in a hotel, somebody in a log cabin. You will be doing a lot of work for spirit in Iceland. And I can't see further than Iceland, but if you plan to go to Europe, you probably will, and you'll love it. But it would be nice if you could come back later on when you're in Iceland and let us know how you're getting on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, the internet is absolutely amazing. So I'd like to tell everybody, Nick's in Portland. You in Portland in America?
Yeah, in Oregon.
And Rihanna and I are in England, and people come from all over the world together on intuitalks, which is absolutely amazing. Also, Nick, when you were on top of that pole, I did put the picture up of you overlooking the mountains. That was Mount Shasta, wasn't it?
No, that was a different mountain, but it's near.
That was a different... It's what?
It's near Mount Shasta, but it is a different one.
I saw some pictures of when you went to Mount Shasta.
Yeah.
But I feel that you've climbed that mountain. You've climbed all your mountains. And everything is down... Not downhill as in going downhill. Everything is easy. You are above, and it's an easy climb to get down to where you want to go. So, if you do have any problems, stay in your heart center. And that's all I have. I'm going to pass you to Rihanna now, and it's been lovely that you've come on the show. So, the sky is the limit for him, Gigi says. And it is. The sky is the limit for you. But no, you will meet somebody, or you have somebody in your life at the moment who's going to be a big support to you. Okay?
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That was beautiful.
Whenever you in the space that Lindsay was talking about, which is going to be very rare, but when it does happen, as usual, I'm connected, protected, and grounded, and I'll do it. But I feel that you already, within probably 2 or 3 people that you've been in commune with, either in Europe or Iceland, that it's one of those people, and that you will meet up, although you're basically going to be travelling on your own. And how I know, I've got the annual card here, and it's a moon cycle card. Okay, and I get some energy from there. That, as you know, there's doves around and her Hannibal, and she's rather beautiful because it's a feminine energy I'm seeing there. And straight away, that told me that you're going to have a special meeting of a soul level place. Okay, and I think that was what it was. And also, Cheryl came up on helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationships. Would you believe? Beloved one. And so the two, married, and also, this idea that you're doing is a brilliant idea. Remember, whatever you do, and whatever is guided to you, they are gifts. It says gifts from God, but I say gifts from the Creator Source I am. You are, because it's very important that you know that. And it says, now come on, keep nurturing yourself. Come on, Nick, don't let yourself go, because you know exactly what to do. Yeah. When any given situation arises, you'll know exactly what to do. And I want to tell you that it is a brilliant idea, but they want you to prioritise. That's a brilliant idea. They want you to prioritise. And I had find this passion, or stay passionate in everything you do. Haniel, trust and follow your renewed passion. It says in your love life and career, but I feel that's to do with your I am presence, how it oozes. I mean, what you reflect, you get back. So you understand me. But I'm also told by Spirit and the angels that they want you to, in particular, Archangel Gabriel is going to be linking on your journey. He wants you to take a journal and write things down. He wants you to be very creative. In other words, because it's so fascinating, and it will help people, even if you just write about little things that went wrong, backpacking, little things that didn't, how you overcome them, how auspicious it was when you met people who are on a spiritual level the same as you. They want you to do a book. Because straight away I got creative writing, and I consider that is very creative of itself, of what it can do and what it can offer. That's it, really.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a leather-bound journal. I've just decided. You've inspired me, and I love that you both talk about relationships, because I've just started thinking about that. Not like I want one, but how do I put it? I don't know. I feel more ready than I ever have been before.
It won't necessarily be what I call a love relationship.
Yeah. It might just be that kind of.
I feel that it's the relationship is with you and how ongoing you are. That this person, like Lynn said, is going to be a cheerleader, a support. And I don't think that they will ever lose that. But I think you're going to be meeting them. I think there's probably a group of people you've been chatting to already. I think that person is going to be one of them. And I think and I think in your heart you're getting quite excited because you can't wait to meet this. It's already that, in your heart it's like, oh, you know what, she or he gets me. Really gets me. And it's nice, isn't it, when you have somebody that really gets you and you feel they really get you big time, not just as a spiritual being walking, but as a human being. They really get you. I mean, that really does lift us up, doesn't it?
Totally.
And so it's going to happen. Totally. Sweet. It's going to happen, sweet.
Thank you so much, both of you. Oh my God, this is such a good show. I had so much fun. We should definitely.
Thank you. It was lovely having you here. And we have come to the end of the show now, Nick. So if you'd like to say a few words to everybody.
Just I love you all so much.
Shy.
I always get sad. Like I hate the end. I'm like, no, I hate leaving. Let's just do this forever.
I hope you're going to come back, darling.
Oh yeah. Let's definitely set up another time. I would love that. Yeah, I'm just definitely grateful for everone that, were listening, and thank you for the people that did the readings, and, I don't know, I just believe in all of you and I'm inspired by all of you. Please feel free to check out my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/nickfoxlove. I post a daily card, and I post free readings and stuff like that sometimes. Or my Instagram, which is my favorite place right now. I love my Instagram. I post jewelry and other things, but that is my name, Nick Fox, but with 2 K's and 2 X's. So NICKKFOXX. And I don't know. Thank you. Thank you so much, both of you. That was such a magical show, and you both have such beautiful energies. It's I've just been sitting here smiling the entire time. So thank you. Thank you.
I thought you always did that, Nick.
Not always, but
it's been a pleasure to have you on the show, and you've been very informative and fun.
Thank you.
While as well as doing your readings, which have been really good, when you've talked about different experiences in your spirituality, it's been interesting, but you've also made it interesting in a fun way, which makes people want to listen more. So we could listen to you all evening as well.
I love your dog. I love your dog.
That's not mine. That's my friend's dog, Hazel. She is so sweet. I miss her. I was only there for a week, but we instantly became good friends.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
The dog has got such beautiful eyes.
I know.
Soulful eyes, Yeah.
She was one of those dogs that you just knew was full of love.
Nick,
oh my god. Okay, let's end it now. Thank you. Thank you so much, both of you. That really was such a wonderful time, and thank you everyone for in the chat room and listening. I'll definitely see you both again. Send me a message and we'll organize another date.
Yes, we will, Nick. Thank you. This has been fun. And Rihanna, I'll leave it to you to say goodbye. I'm still recording, and when Rihanna's finished, I'll stop the recording.
Yes. Well, everybody that's been here, specifically our beautiful guest, Nick, it's been such a joy, Nick. And I'm still going to say he's going to have a wolf spirit, on his travels with him, and he'll notice it quite rapidly. Yes, everybody, Tushi, Gemini, Nell, and Viv, and I hope that I haven't forgotten anyone. May you all walk this day with blessings and days to come. May your lives be filled with much joy and blessings. Namaste, and and the odd bit of party,
Woo! And Jen, thank you to Jen for coming as well. She had to leave earlier. So, right, thank you very much, everybody. We've had a lovely time. Remember, if you'd like to listen to the show again, it will be in the archives after about an hour. And if you've had a reading, you'll be able to re-listen to the reading. You can either watch the archives on video, or you can listen to it as a radio show. It also goes on to YouTube as well. Our next show will be in 3 weeks' time, and it will be Rihanna and I doing readings. And 2 weeks after that, we are having... I think 2 weeks after that, we're having, November, we're having Christopher Rayburn. So I don't know if we've got 2 shows of me and Rihanna, or 1 show and then a guest, but we'll let you know on that score. So keep your eyes peeled for the adverts when they go round. And thank you very much. It's been great fun. Thank you very much, Nick.
Thank you.